regular city council meeting to order. If you will please stand for the pledge, followed by a moment of silence. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. On the consent agenda, we have the approval of the September 22nd, 2020 regular minutes, approval of the September 22nd work session minutes, including the updates as defined earlier by the city manager, approval and authorization for the mayor to execute an agreement and all other related documents for Falcon Design for the property planning process regarding Old Town Morrow, and authorization to the mayor to execute the community rating system annual recertification and other related documents from the Lake County Water Authority. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion properly seconded. All those in favor say aye. Ms. Dean?
Aye.
Mr. Quah?
Aye.
Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Ms. Tran?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Meeting agenda, approval of the October 13th, 2020 meeting agenda. Item number 4, adding certain items as related to the waste collection per the city manager, and adding a different session where we're going to have Ponding Company at $2,700 related to the trail system
And you executing all necessary.
and executing all documents. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
There's a motion properly seconded. All those in favor say aye. Ms. Dean?
Aye.
Mr. Quah?
Aye.
Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Ms. Manning?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Presentation, Clayton County Public Schools Superintendent, Dr. Beasley. We certainly appreciate you coming out to the city of Morrow. Glad you were able to find a parking space. We've got a rather large crowd out there. You thought that was us, didn't you?
Well, I saw the children, and I was pleased to see the children. You know, it's just good to see children out playing. So, I saw the cars, but I was really pleased to see the children over there at the playground.
Excellent.
So, thank you for this opportunity, Mayor Randall, and City Manager Reddick for inviting me. Thank you to the City Council. Always good to see Ms. Knight, one of our employees in the school district, and to those of you that I've seen now for several years, it's always good to see you, a new face. Good to see you, Mayor Pro Tem, and who is, I think, is that Tran? She's not. She's on the.
She's on the screen behind
Right behind you. And right in front of you.
Hello there. Well, it's good to meet you as well. Well, I decided today I would just basically share a very brief update. And, you know, being 7:30 at night, you don't want me to do a long presentation. But I had the staff to just create a handout of numbers that would give you an idea of where we are as a school system. We started school on August 10th, and we started virtually. So we have been learning virtually since August 10th. We will continue to learn virtually until we bring to the board a recommendation, and we'll probably bring the recommendation at the end of this month, end of October, to start a phase-in, if we can, of face-to-face instruction. The board will have to approve the recommendation before we can move forward. But I want you to know that we ended last year with a lot of our kids not necessarily participating online, but this year we were in a better place. We were able to start this year with many kids getting devices, laptops that we had in the district, and then of course our board approved for us to purchase Chromebooks, and so as the Chromebooks are coming in, we're distributing the Chromebooks to our students, and so the first week of school, we had about 96, 97% of the students participating online. So we are in a much improved place. One of the challenges has been to ensure that families not only get the devices, but also have Wi-Fi. So we have been working with our partners, our foundation in particular, has been instrumental. Our partnership with the United Way and other organizations, we have been able to purchase hotspots for families that need Wi-Fi. So we believe we're addressing those issues, but as you all well know, nothing is like face-to-face instruction. And so clearly we had to modify our content standards so that we could teach what we could teach virtually, because you can't keep kids online for 6 and 7 hours. That is not reasonable, and they won't allow you to. They'll just kind of hang up or zoom out on you. But I want you to see that the attendance is the first few weeks of school has been in the 90s. But as we anticipate, even when we're face-to-face, we know we have attendance. There are reasons for the students not being in school from day to day. So our goal is to keep it above 90, get close to 95%, and hopefully keep it there. Once the board approves a recommendation to return face-to-face, we will offer the Virtual Learning Academy for families for whatever reason they're not comfortable with their children returning face-to-face. They will be allowed to continue to learn virtually. And so we will offer that option. We have, as of our last update to the board, I want to say about 16,000, maybe it has whittled down a little bit, but about 16,000 would like to continue virtually if and when we return face-to-face. We provided a technology update. Again, we ordered 38,000 Chromebooks. We had about 40,000 laptops in the district, but as you well know, a lot of those laptops were old. So we're issuing the Chromebooks as they are delivered from the distributor, collecting the laptops, and those that we can reuse, we are reusing those to issue to our smaller children to use, particularly in the kindergarten, first and second grade. We'll continue to use the devices even when we return face-to-face, because it's a great tool for students to have. They have all of the tools that they need to do internet research, to do internet programs, etc. Our programs that we have in reading and math, they can use their devices to really, as we call it, extend learning beyond the classroom. So we'll continue to do that, and we're very pleased. And as a reminder to our public, the SPLOST dollars are very important, because we were using SPLOST dollars to purchase the Chromebooks, and we're grateful for our Georgia Department of Education and the Federal CARES Act funds. Those funds have been utilized to assist us in accelerating the purchase of Chromebooks. We're pleased to share that even in the midst of a pandemic, our advanced placement scores have continued to improve. We've closed the gap even more with the state and with the nation. So we want to give kudos to our students, to our AP teachers, to our principals for their hard work. Dual enrollment also continues to be a hot topic in our school district. Many of our students are committed to earning college credit and associate degrees while they are in high school, and we commend them for those efforts. Our SAT data clearly is improving, and so we're pleased about that. And we're pleased to share that we have another Blue Ribbon, nationally recognized Blue Ribbon School of Excellence. Stillwell School of the Arts has been identified as one of the 2020 schools across the nation, now identified as a National Blue Ribbon School. So we're excited here in Clayton County to have that designation. That gives us 2 schools, and our commitment is to keep adding to the list, We're very pleased that our transportation and school nutrition department, even during virtual learning, they continue to provide meals for our students, and we're doing, they can pick up the meals at the schools, or they can pick the meals up at the stops, the bus stops. And so we're doing, I think, as much as we can to ensure that no child in this county goes without a meal, breakfast and lunch. And so we appreciate the community for participating in the meal services. Human resource data you have there, we're about 96% staffed, and that's consistent, and that's even during the pandemic. So we're pleased that we've not seen a massive departure of teachers or individuals due to the pandemic. Now, once we return, we'll see how that pans out. You may have those individuals who choose not to return, and they may want to resign, etc. But I'll say that in light of where we are economically as a nation, I doubt if we'll see massive resignations, because where are you going? So I'll leave that there. We're very pleased to have our partnership with the Atlanta Community Food Bank on Fridays in certain sites throughout the district. At certain times, we're providing families an opportunity to get groceries. And again, no family in this county should go without meals, because there are too many opportunities for families to get what they may need. Even if not necessarily needed today, in the event that they have a lull in their resources, those food resources are available. I already mentioned the United Way partnership. We're very pleased that we continue to not just provide instruction, but we support families in whatever way that we can. Clearly you can see we are partnering with the United Way to even address housing in our school system. We're very pleased that the Clayton County Public Schools Foundation has been very instrumental into all of those citizens of this county and beyond that support the foundation. I'll say on behalf of the Board of Directors, thank you. We've raised almost, we're getting closer to $500,000 within less than 2 years. That's not bad. That's not bad. So we're excited about that. Safety continues to be important to us. Student well-being is important, and we continue to use our tools to ensure that students are safe, that we're visiting homes, if there are discipline issues, and you all should know we are doing home visits during virtual learning. And so it's not uncommon for a team of individuals to knock on the door just to see how things are going and to talk to mama and daddy and to remind them that we need Johnny to behave himself. And then lastly, we're pleased that one of the positive things about the pandemic has been the increase in community and parent engagement. Using all the tools that we have, meetings are online, using iPhones, iPads, and using Google and Zoom and other meeting resources, parents are able to connect to the many opportunities that we're offering in the district. So we've given you a few examples of some of the numbers for board meetings and YouTube live sessions that we share information, critical conversations, etc. And we launched a new podcast this year, Be Inspired with Beasley. So we're just excited that if people want to know, if they want to be informed, they can be informed in Clayton County. So we're providing academics, we're providing support. Our students are engaged athletically. This semester, even though we have limited participation to games, limited to their families, and only so many persons per athlete, for safety reasons, clearly. But our students are engaged, and we're pleased that our students are being developed artistically. So when it comes to the 3 A's, academics, arts, and athletics, our students are still engaged. So we'll keep you all informed as to when the board makes a decision based upon our recommendation to return or phase in face-to-face. It may be a blended option where they come so many days a week. It may be just certain grade levels, the lower grade levels in particular, but we will finalize that recommendation, share with the Board of Education, give them an opportunity to dialogue about it, discuss, collaborate, and then make a decision to accept our recommendation. I'll say this, that the pandemic, while it's been challenging for all of us, our focus has been and will continue to be on our children. We make no apologies for that. We are continuing to improve as a school district. Clayton County has been leading in the response to this pandemic, not only here in the metro Atlanta area, but we have been cited and continue to be cited. New York Times even called us today. We have been cited in numerous publications as to what we're doing. People want to know, what are we doing to address equity, to ensure that all students are learning, and to successfully navigate this pandemic. We believe that at some point it will be over, but I can assure you that our school system will be better because of it. It will be more innovative, and you will see our students learning as our teachers continue to expect them to learn at high levels using critical thinking and higher order thinking skills. You will continue to see an improving school district. So thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for your support of our children, of our 55,000 children, I like to say, our 7,000 employees, and clearly 285,000 plus members in this community that make a contribution to the success of this school system. Thank you.
Congratulations on the academic success. While we got you here, we'd still love to have that new civic center somewhere around South Lake Mall. Just a thought.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions, comments from the city council?
I do have a question for Dr. Beasley. You mentioned about the students and the safety with the COVID. What is your program, or how are you preventing spread? And
Well, currently, since we only have employees accessing the facilities, we have contact tracing as an expectation. They have to sign in a certain app when they go into every facility in case things happen. We require masks, of course, and of course, cleaning the facilities is an expectation. We will do the very same thing when students do return. One reason that we're looking at the AB approach is because it will reduce the numbers of students who are on campus, so we can do more social distancing, but masks will be required of students as well. And for those families that may not can, for whatever reason, send their students to school with masks, we'll provide the mask once they get to the schoolhouse. So we'll continue, of course, we'll have protocols in place for lunch when it's time to go to lunch, of course, physical education, etc. So we'll continue to do everything that we can do, but I often tell people that no matter what we do, there will always be a certain amount of risk when you have several people in a space. And so we're going to do our best to mitigate for any challenges. We'll address them case by case, but we do know that in light of where the data is in the state, in the county, in the nation, we do know that we will expect some type of situations that we'll have to address.
I did have a question. With virtual learning, and each year we're a data-driven district, and our statistics have been improving. Do you know, or is there any indication from the State Department of Education what the impact of COVID learning, virtual learning, and testing? Is testing going to be off the table?
Well,
because of the nature of the education.
Well, last spring the state had a waiver from the U.S. Department of Education. This year, the Secretary of Education has not committed to any waivers, so testing is expected this year. So we'll see exactly what impact it has once we see the official test results. But as you know, you probably, if you don't know this, you should. We assess our students in reading and math in certain grade levels throughout the school year. And we're pleasantly surprised that our students have not shown a regression since the spring.
That's great.
And we believe it's because our focus in our district has always been on rigor and relevance. So we're teaching skills that will help kids think and do at higher levels. And we believe that that's translating and it's helping us mitigate for that learning loss. It doesn't mean that they have not learned, or they have learned all the content. That's a different conversation. We've had to reduce the amount of content that we're teaching. Most districts have. That's why we're concerned about administering a state assessment. But we're pleased that reading levels and math levels are not showing that precipitous decline as we thought that it would show.
Right. That's a question from a proud parent of a graduate of Stillwell School of the Arts.
Yes.
A student who got a 5 on their AP exam.
Excellent. And we're producing as many of those 5s as possible.
Yeah, Stillwell is an awesome school.
We're pleased that they're now a national blue ribbon school of excellence. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lee.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
What I'm going to do is, because Chris had made the original presentation, I'm just simply going to roll that into the public hearing. When we go up with that, we'll handle them all at the same time. Approval of the solid waste collection administrative policy and procedures with the addition of the comments that were made earlier by the city manager. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion and approved. All those in favor say aye. Mr. Quah?
Aye.
Ms. Tran?
Aye.
Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Ms. Dean?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Approval of the mayor and council contingency fund not to exceed $5,000 and authorization for the mayor to execute an agreement related to CoStar and a combination of LoopNet, actually. Do I hear a motion to approve?
May I ask a quick question?
Sure.
So based on what, Beth,
Yes.
just mentioned, so it's about $400 a month?
Isn't the contract like $395 and then you have it $99 for a listing? What's the CoStar contract's here in front of us somewhere?
It's about $397 per month for the CoStar, allowing us for one user, and then it's $99 per listing that we have. It'll be discounted to $79 if we have the, if we have CoStar, they'll give us a discount.
Okay, so there's a discount of,
Per listing, but right now we just, the contract I sent over, two contracts, was one for the CoStar and one for the LoopNet.
Are we good?
yes, I just want to be clear on the cost.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion properly seconded. All those in favor say aye. Ms. Dean?
Aye.
Mr. Quah?
Aye.
Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Ms. Tran?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. I'm going to insert the additional one. This was related to Pine and Company for soil issues for the trail system in the amount of $2,700 and the authority for the mayor to execute all documents related to such. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion properly seconded. All those in favor say aye. Mr. Quah?
Aye.
Ms. Dean?
Aye.
Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Ms. Tran?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Ordinances and resolutions, public hearing and resolution to 2020-13 to set the millage rate. We heard the comments by our financial analysis here, and I'm going to open the floor to a public hearing. Our public hearing basically says, we don't have a listed tax increase, as you heard from the experience earlier. Is there any comments by the citizens? Any comments by the council? Must have done a good job this morning. All right. We have resolution 2020, that'll close the public hearing. We have resolution 2020-13, setting the millage rate for the city of Morrow. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion properly seconded. All those in favor say aye. Mr. Quah?
Aye.
Ms. Tran?
Aye.
Ms. Dean?
Aye.
Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Resolution 20, thank you, Chris. Motion 2020-14, job descriptions and pay classifications as defined earlier by the city manager. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion properly seconded. All those in favor say aye. Ms. Dean?
Aye.
Mr. Quah?
Aye.
Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Ms. Tran?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Second reading of ordinance 2010, allowing the different facilities that the city is being used to have a little flexibility in their use of fees. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion properly first and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Mr. Quah?
Aye.
Ms. Dean?
Aye.
Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Ms. Tran?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Second reading of public hearing for ordinance 2011 related to removing the exemptions for MARTA in relation to the city code. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Well, if you may, remember you need to open the public hearing. See if
We'll
there's
do a
any.
public hearing. That's not traditional, but we'll do it anyway. Anybody have any comments removing MARTA from the exemptions related to the city's bus code?
What does that mean?
That basically means that in 2015, the city had a bus code, and we exempted basically one company, MARTA itself, from following it, which is why you don't have sidewalks, streetlights, crosswalks, bus shelters, things along those lines. Your original code required it when we originally built it. Fair?
So I got a question. So how is that gonna impact the current agreement we have with Morrow?
It doesn't. That's a separate contract.
So what's the purpose? I mean,
The purpose is to be able to allow the city attorney to talk with the MARTA and to make them follow the city code. An easy example, you cannot stick somebody on the side of the road from an American Disabilities Act section. There's at least 2 bus stops out there that fit that criteria. It's either we're violating federal law or MARTA's violating federal law.
so whose responsibility is to put the handicapped accessible sidewalks out there? The city or is it Morrow?
Well, our contract says they have to follow the city code. We would rather that not be us, but they should negotiate with us when they're putting them out there in the first place. This gives us the authority and the ability to go out there and enforce it. And in reality, based on a conversation that we had with the state legislators, there's a reasonable chance that MARTA never signed our original contract in the first place. But that's a secondary issue. That contract has been taken.
I mean, yeah, that's it.
Any other questions? All right, gonna close the public hearing. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion properly seconded. All those in favor say aye. Ms. Tran?
Aye.
Mr. Clark?
Aye.
Ms. Knight?
No.
Ms. Dean?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-1. First reading of an ordinance related to 2012 microbreweries. You had a chance to have that. And it's basically allowing an ordinance created where we could have microbreweries. I'll let the city manager explain that.
Actually, I'll, if Val, if you want to, or do you want Marty to?
I'll have some Marty talk about it.
So just in a nutshell, Marty, what does this enable a microbrewery or similar business?
Well, something I didn't know before reading this is there are 2 types of microbreweries. There's a brewery that just does the manufacturing, and then there's also a brew pub, which is an eating establishment. This will just enhance our opportunities for gathering places and offering for economic development purposes to grow with the microbreweries. It's in addition to the alcohol code.
There's people out there now creating, small sections of beer in small batches. We're not talking about a Coors manufacturing plant or anything like that, even though that would be, nice for jobs and things like that, but that's not what we're talking about.
Because it limits the barrels in the.
That's correct. So it's small batch breweries, and it's pretty common in areas.
It's 10,000 barrels or less per year.
Still a lot of beer. All right. Moving on to the next item, you've got that available, it'll be available
Mayor, I
online
have
as
a
well.
question regarding the,
I'm sorry?
I have a question.
Yes.
Is there any restrictions on the hours of operation and days of operation for
It
this?
would be similar to what you do for a restaurant.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, going on to the next item, first reading of ordinance, residential trash collection. And I think this one has several discussions items in it.
I mean, this is the ordinance that basically enacts the new contract and the fee schedule.
For most of you, your garbage rate's gonna go down about 50%. It'll start in November. There's a letter that will come out. It'll show you physically 3 different garbage containers. You own your own garbage container. They're not the city of Morrow's garbage container. But if you use a traditional household container, you might be able to put 2 kitchen bags in that. The next one might have 2 bags. In reality, that's only about 65 gallons. You're entitled to 150. So when you see these, you'll be a little surprised. Even the commercial grade containers only hold 95 gallons. So you could have, a series, and they're available at Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, and from the standpoint.
Can I make a comment, please?
Yes, please.
So, because this is a question I get a lot, you do not have to buy a single container that is 150 gallons. You can have as many as 5, no more than 5. And they range, as the mayor said, and you'll get in your letter, there'll be sample depictions from 30 gallons to minus 95. The collective gallons is 150, because a lot of people have this thought that they have to go out there and buy this 150 gallon container, which is several $100s. That's not the case. Your individual containers cannot exceed 150 gallons, and the number of containers you have cannot exceed 5. Thank you.
All right. Moving on to the next one. That was your first reading. It's available to you. I think they're on the back counter if you want to see this. General comments from the city manager.
No, sir.
Citizens' comments from the public. And then we do have some, what I call non-residents. I'll just call you up individually when you do it. Any regular comments from anybody?
I got it.
Ms. White?
Consent agenda, item C. Who is Falcon Design and what's the plan for Old Town Mall?
Falcon Design is basically a surveying firm, and what we're going to do is have them survey out some of the questions in terms of easement abilities, and we're going to solve those easement abilities. We have to have this to be able to make the formal process through the city attorney. Other questions? Okay. Barring none, let's see. Is it Hamilton? Is Hamilton?
Hi. Yes.
And you're going to have a grand opening at Omni Spa?
Yes.
On Friday
Yes.
at noon?
Yes.
You're going to hope we all attend,
Yes.
and that would be great. You're welcome to the floor, though.
Do you guys prefer for me to be at the podium or?
You're welcome anywhere you feel comfortable.
My name is Shaquana Hamilton. I am from Hilton Head, South Carolina. I opened Omni Day Spa last year this month. Omni Day Spa is located in the Morrow Pavilion off of Mount Zion. We are a 5-star spa. We're the only 5-star spa in South Atlanta. I'm very proud of that. And thank you. So we do cater to both men and women. So the vision here, when I moved here, I noticed that the South Side didn't have a very upscale, relaxing place for men and women to be pampered. And we need that. We want to be pampered too. We want to go to the North End, just be pampered. So that was my vision. That's what I saw here. Being from Hilton Head, that's what we're known for, hospitality, resort, pampering. So I want to bring a little bit of home here. So you feel like you're not in the hustle and bustle of Atlanta. You're getting relaxed, especially at a time like this with COVID. We need to relieve stress and relax. Now, my process here with the city of Morrow was excellent. Marty and Randy were a great help to me. I recently met Bo, and he's been a great help as well. I love having my business in the city of Morrow. I plan to buy a home in the city of Morrow soon. So I am very happy to be here, and my business is doing great here, and I'm looking forward to see what the future holds. So a few things that I had concerns with as an owner was just being more strict with the landlords. Now, I'm thankful I have a really good landlord. The things that I have asked, he has done. But being a soon-to-be permanent resident here and also a business owner, coming from where I'm from, I'm just so used to more organization and cosmetic as a city. So like landscaping and the buildings, like the buildings look a little run down and the landscaping isn't upkept, there's trash everywhere. I think I've seen a street sweeper once since I've been here in my plaza. And I'm constantly picking up trash, no matter where I go. So just kind of, I guess, demanding that the landlord do things like that, making sure the fire line is painted. My landlord recently just repainted the fire line, the parking lot slots, painting those lines. Just keeping the cosmetic of the actual streets and the city itself. Also helping small businesses stay in the eye of the city. So the public eye, so like newspaper, having it on the website of the city, social media, television, radio, things like that. That helps bring good press for new businesses or businesses, period, small businesses, because the city, depends on a small business, and a small business depends on the city. So helping us out in ways like that, again, especially with COVID, it's a struggle for us to stay afloat. That's my livelihood. Even tax breaks or even funding for small businesses. And acknowledging the small businesses. For example, like I said, I think that's a great accomplishment. I've only lived here going on 3 years now, and I was able to open my business after a year and a half of being here. So that's a great accomplishment to me, but also to be a 5-star spa. So again, where I'm from, we have that. We give awards to all businesses, just best of City of Morrow for whatever. So just helping the businesses itself flourish so that we are able to stay in business and also be a part of the community as well. And I would like opportunities to also help the community, but I'm not sure of what those routes would be or who I would connect with for that. I myself, my dad is mayor pro tem of my town, so I'm used to being in front of the political eye, and I'm used to being a part of the community. So I do want to extend that leap here and be a part of the community as well as anything I can do when I'm not working 7 days a week. But I do like to help, and I do like to be a part of the community. And yeah, so we are celebrating our 1-year anniversary. I recently joined the Chamber of Commerce, so we're celebrating the ribbon cutting for that. And that is at the spa, 1387 Mount Zion Road. We will have giveaways, treats, we'll do demo services, and you guys can take a tour and see how beautiful it is. It's a beautiful spa. Hopefully I'll be expanding soon, we'll see. But that'll be a really good opportunity for everyone to come out and meet the staff. Nancy is our awesome spa manager who invited me out tonight, and I'm glad I came, and I will be coming more often. But yeah, it's October 23rd at noon, next Friday. Thank you.
Thanks. And the other one, we have a young lady, Courtney Whitman.
Yes.
And she's got basically some comments about the Clayton County Board of Commissioners in a survey or something along those lines.
Yes, sir. So good evening, Mayor and City Council. My name is Courtney Whitman, and I work for Nickel Works Consulting. And on behalf of Nickel Works and Clayton County Board of Commissioners, we wish to thank you for the opportunity to present Clayton County's Community Engagement Initiative, otherwise known as Engage Clayton. The support of you, the City Council, is key to our success. This is a countywide initiative inclusive of all the cities within Clayton County and relies on utilizing points of contact within organizations such as businesses and civic groups, small and large companies, churches, schools, city and county officials to reach all districts within Clayton County. The project consists of 3 objectives. Establishing a database that the county will use to engage residents, businesses, frequent visitors, and other interested parties, conducting a countywide survey to get feedback on current methods of engagement and desired engagement activities for the future, and also developing a plan of action that the county will use going forward to enhance their engagement efforts and reach a broader group. With the onset of COVID-19 pandemic, it became increasingly apparent that that local governments need to communicate timely and efficiently with its residents, citizens, and commuters that live, work, and play within the county. To that end, we're asking all who engage with Clayton County to assist us in providing Clayton County with the best ways to communicate with the community and how they want to be engaged and informed. The best way you can do that is by taking our survey, which I have here. You can access it 3 ways: by scanning our QR code or texting Engage Clayton to 31996 or visiting claytoncountyga.gov. If anybody has any questions, I can provide you with my information.
I took the survey, it's very simple.
It takes about 3 minutes. But again, we are providing Clayton County with some of the tools and techniques that they can use to enhance their ability to engage.
Thank you. Comments from the City Council? Comments?
I'd just like to say that for those who, and there it is, have not seen Mr. Jimmy Bales about the barbecue on Saturday, he's in the back. Raise your hand.
My only comment, the the city worked as a partnership for flu shots. You saw that was available in the later part. And I think all 120 shots working through Mercer University, Clayton State was over there, and they had a number of others. Highly recommend you get a flu shot, especially our seniors. Got lots of issues out there. Let's try to keep them as small as possible. But we certainly appreciate them coming out and working with the city more. That being said, motion to adjourn. We're going to go into the standard work session, and we still have a couple of